Listen up. If you want to understand what truly captivates a man, it's not just about looks, it's about energy, presence, and the habits that make you irresistible. Men are drawn to women who own their confidence, who radiate passion, who bring excitement, depth, and emotional intelligence into their lives. This isn't about playing games, it's about stepping into your power, becoming the kind of woman who naturally attracts the right kind of man. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 habits that make men obsessed. Habits that not only transform your relationships, but your entire life. Are you ready? Let's go. Confidence is the foundation of attraction. It's not just about how you look or what you wear, it's about how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you enter a room, and the energy you bring. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about knowing your worth and owning it. When a woman radiates confidence, men are naturally drawn to her because confidence signals strength, self-assurance, and security. Think about it. When you see someone walk into a room with their head held high, shoulders back, making eye contact and smiling like they belong, you notice them. They command attention without demanding it. That's the power of confidence. It's a silent force that speaks volumes without a single word. And here's the thing, confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's the result of how you see yourself, how you talk to yourself, and how you handle challenges in life. Men are instinctively wired to seek security in a relationship. A confident woman provides that security not by controlling or dominating, but by simply being sure of herself. She doesn't need external validation because she validates herself. She knows she is enough, and that certainty is magnetic. But let's go deeper. Confidence isn't just about your presence in a room. It's about how you handle situations. When a woman is confident, she doesn't get easily shaken by minor setbacks. She doesn't crumble under pressure. She doesn't react impulsively to every little thing. She has emotional control, and that's powerful. Because men, like all people, seek stability in their closest relationships. A confident woman provides that stability not because she's emotionless, but because she's emotionally secure. Now let's address something important. Some people mistake confidence for being loud, opinionated, or demanding attention. That's not confidence. That's insecurity masked as confidence. True confidence is quiet but strong. It doesn't need to prove anything, it simply is. A woman who is truly confident doesn't seek approval. She doesn't chase, she attracts. And here's another thing, a confident woman sets boundaries. She knows what she will and won't tolerate. She doesn't settle for less than she deserves. She communicates what she wants with clarity, not aggression. And because she respects herself, men respect her. This is a game changer. Many women think that being overly accommodating or always agreeable makes them more attractive. But the truth is, people, especially men, are drawn to those who have standards. A woman with confidence doesn't need to beg for attention because she knows she's valuable. She knows that if one person doesn't see her worth, someone else will. Now let's talk about confidence in dating and relationships. A confident woman isn't afraid of being alone. She doesn't settle just to have someone. She chooses wisely because she understands that a relationship should add to her life, not complete it. She's already complete. When a man meets a woman like this, he feels something different. He doesn't feel like he's being manipulated or like she's desperate for validation. Instead, he feels challenged, inspired, and intrigued. And that's what makes him stay. Let's be real. Confidence also shows up in the way you handle rejection. A woman with confidence doesn't break down if a man isn't interested. She doesn't take it personally. She doesn't spiral into self-doubt. Instead, she sees rejection as redirection. She understands that not everyone is for her, and that's okay. She moves forward without losing an ounce of self-worth. And that resilience, that's attractive because it shows emotional strength. And confidence isn't just about mindset, it's also about action. A woman who is confident takes care of herself, not to impress others, but because she values herself. She invests in her health, her growth, and her happiness. She pursues her passions. She isn't waiting for someone to make her life exciting. She creates an exciting life for herself. And when a man sees that, he doesn't just want to be with her, he wants to be part of her world. This is what makes a confident woman stand out. She doesn't just attract men, she attracts the right men. Because confidence isn't just about appearing strong, it's about actually being strong. And when you cultivate this kind of confidence, you don't have to chase anyone. You become the person others are drawn to effortlessly. Passion and purpose are two of the most powerful forces a person can possess. When a woman has something in her life that excites her, that drives her, that gives her a sense of fulfillment, she becomes magnetic. Men and people in general are naturally drawn to those who have an internal fire, a reason to wake up every day with excitement. Passion is energy. It's the difference between someone who is merely existing and someone who is truly alive. A woman with passion doesn't need to seek attention because she commands it effortlessly. She's the kind of person who lights up a conversation, who speaks with enthusiasm, who radiates a sense of purpose that makes others want to be around her. It's not about being loud or trying to impress people. It's about having something that excites you so much that it naturally shines through in everything you do. When a woman is deeply engaged in her own life, whether it's through a career, a creative pursuit, a mission, or a hobby that she loves, she becomes more than just attractive. She becomes inspiring. Men are instinctively drawn to women who have depth, who have something going on in their lives beyond just seeking a relationship. A woman who is passionate about something isn't looking for someone to complete her. She is already whole. And that's what makes her stand out. She doesn't come across as needy or dependent because she has something that fuels her from within. This energy is intoxicating because it signals confidence, independence, and excitement. It shows that she is living life on her terms. But let's be clear. This isn't about being busy just for the sake of it. It's not about pretending to have purpose. It's about actually finding something that makes you feel alive. Maybe it's a career that excites you, a creative pursuit that brings you joy, a cause you believe in, or a skill you're developing. Whatever it is, when a woman has that internal fire, she doesn't need to look for external validation. She doesn't need a man to give her life meaning. She already has it. And that makes her incredibly attractive. Now, let's talk about how passion impacts relationships. A woman who has a purpose brings an entirely different energy to a relationship. She isn't looking to be saved. She isn't looking for a man to entertain her. She's looking for a partner, someone to share her journey with, not someone to define her journey. This shifts the dynamic entirely. Men respect women who have their own direction, their own dreams, their own ambitions. They don't want to be the sole source of a woman's happiness. They want to add to an already fulfilling life. And here's something powerful. When a woman is deeply passionate about something, she becomes a source of inspiration. Her energy is contagious. She challenges the people around her to think bigger, to push themselves, to live with purpose as well. This is what creates a dynamic and exciting relationship. When both partners are driven, when they both have goals and dreams, they uplift each other. There's a different level of connection, one based on growth, ambition, and mutual respect. But let's talk about the opposite. What happens when someone doesn't have passion or purpose? They become dependent. They rely on others for entertainment, for excitement, for validation. They look for a relationship to fill the void instead of filling it themselves. And that's where problems begin. A relationship built on neediness, on waiting for someone else to provide happiness, is fragile. It lacks depth, it lacks excitement. But a relationship where both people are passionate, where they both have something driving them, becomes electric. So how do you develop passion and purpose if you don't already have it? It starts with curiosity. What excites you? What makes you lose track of time? What would you do even if you weren't getting paid for it? Passion isn't something you find, it's something you cultivate. It's about exploring, trying new things, following your interests, and allowing yourself to be excited about life. And here's the thing, when a woman is excited about life, that energy transfers. People want to be around her. She brings something different to the table. She's not waiting for life to happen to her. She is making life happen. That's the key. That's what makes her truly attractive. Actions will always reveal the truth, even when words create confusion. A man can say one thing and do another, but his consistent patterns of behavior will expose his real feelings. When emotions are involved, words often become a defense mechanism, something he uses to protect himself from vulnerability. He might tell you he's not looking for anything serious, but then he's always there when you need him. He might say he's unsure about his feelings, but then he remembers little details about you, checks in unexpectedly, and finds ways to stay in your life. This is where most people get stuck. They listen to the words instead of watching the actions. They hold on to what was said rather than what is repeatedly shown. But here's the reality. Words are easy to manipulate, but actions require effort. If a man's actions show care, attention, and emotional depth, then those are his real feelings, even if his words haven't caught up yet. The inconsistency you're experiencing isn't a lack of interest. It's a battle between his emotions and his ability to express them. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that mixed signals mean a lack of clarity on his part. In reality, his heart knows exactly what it feels, but his mind might be trying to control the situation. If he's been hurt before, if he's afraid of commitment, or if he's struggling with his own emotional readiness, he may try to downplay or deny what's happening between you. But despite all of that, his true emotions will always slip through in his behavior. He won't be able to help it. You'll notice it in the way he reacts to you. When you're around other men, does he get noticeably different, even if he tries to hide it? When you're upset, does he instinctively want to make things better? When you pull back, does he feel the need to reach out and close the distance? These aren't things a man does for someone he has no feelings for. His actions are showing you that there's something real happening inside of him, even if he's struggling to verbalize it. But here's where your power comes in. You don't have to figure it out for him. It's not your job to make sense of his emotions, fix his fears, or get him to admit what he's feeling before he's ready. Your job is to observe, to stand in your own confidence, and to trust what you see rather than what you're told. If his actions are telling you that he's invested, then give him space to work through his emotions. If his actions are inconsistent in a way that feels draining or uncertain, then step back and focus on yourself. This is the key difference between reacting to mixed signals and using them as insight. When you react emotionally, when you try to get answers, demand clarity, or chase certainty, you put yourself in a position of waiting. But when you step back and simply observe, you take back control. You stop playing the guessing game and start making decisions based on patterns rather than fleeting words. A man's true feelings will always be revealed over time. If he's falling for you, his actions will reflect care, effort, and a need to stay connected to you. If he's not serious, his inconsistency will become more pronounced and his words will start to feel empty. The more you trust what you see rather than what you hear, the more clarity you'll have. And that's where the power shifts, from seeking answers to recognizing the truth that's already in front of you. Stepping into your power means recognizing that you are the one who controls how you respond to a man's mixed signals. Too often, when someone is emotionally invested but sending confusing messages, it creates a cycle of over-analysis, self-doubt, and waiting. You start asking yourself, what does this mean? Why is he acting this way? Should I do something differently? But here's the truth. The moment you start looking for clarity outside of yourself, you give away your power. Instead of waiting for him to figure out what he wants, you must decide what you want. When a man sends mixed signals, it's usually because he's feeling something he wasn't expecting. Maybe he was planning to keep things casual, but now his emotions are pulling him deeper. Maybe he's afraid of getting hurt, so he keeps a safe distance. Or maybe he's unsure about what he's ready for, but he can't bring himself to walk away. The key thing to understand is that his confusion does not need to become your confusion. Just because he's uncertain doesn't mean you have to be. Just because he's struggling with his emotions doesn't mean you need to put your life on hold while he figures it out. The most powerful shift you can make is to stop reacting and start observing. When you step into your power, you stop looking at mixed signals as something you need to decode and start seeing them as information. His actions tell you where he is emotionally. His consistency, or lack thereof, tells you whether he is ready for the kind of connection you deserve. Instead of trying to pull him closer, you allow him to show you, through his behavior, whether he belongs in your life. And here's the thing, when you shift your mindset, everything changes. Instead of waiting for a man to give you clarity, you create your own. Instead of feeling anxious about what his signals mean, you recognize that the right man will make his intentions clear. Instead of chasing, you attract. This doesn't mean you play games or pretend you don't care. It means you align yourself with confidence, self-respect, and the belief that the right person will meet you at your level. Men are drawn to women who know their worth. When a man sees that you are not sitting around analyzing his every move, that you are living your life, valuing yourself, and maintaining your standards, it creates a natural shift in the dynamic. He realizes that if he doesn't step up, he will lose you. And that moment of realization is often what turns uncertainty into clarity. If he truly has feelings for you, he will take action. If he doesn't, he will continue sending mixed signals. Either way, you gain the clarity you need without ever having to chase it. The key is to hold your standards without fear. Too often, when a man sends mixed signals, people lower their expectations, thinking that if they just give him more time, space, or understanding, he will come around. But that's not how emotional connection works. A man doesn't commit because you wait for him. He commits because he recognizes your value and doesn't want to lose you. The right man will not leave you wondering where you stand. The right man will rise to meet you because he sees that you are someone worth showing up for. So instead of falling into the cycle of trying to decode every action, step into your power. Focus on what makes you feel strong, confident, and fulfilled. Trust that if a man is truly meant to be in your life, his actions will reflect it. And most importantly, remember this: you do not need to convince anyone to choose you. The right person will make it clear